How many times have we summoned? Rium, Meek, Starfrost, Meek. Yeah, we're dead. You know, it's fine. We'll just keep going. My friends, it's BenCappp, and it has been way too long, but we're here. Just been dealing with something super serious personally. And you know, when I make these videos, I want to bring you guys the absolute best possible content. I want to make sure that I fully grasp a deck and I understand it before I just make a video and lead you guys astray, or like it becomes irrelevant a week later. So we're here. We got Mannadiums. Like I said, very versatile deck. Every card or two cards you have can go 100 different ways. So before we get started on the combos, we'll take a quick look at the cards that the deck's going to contain. We're going to start off with Visa Starfrost. It's finally found a good deck to coexist with. You're going to play this at 3 undoubtedly. It helps you get into the Scareclaw line through Reichheart, which we'll go over a little bit later. But just its ability to play out of the hand and the way that it interacts with this deck is very important. Next we've got Mannadium Riumheart. Riumheart can search any Mannadium card, which is kind of unusual for Yugioh to be able to search any type of card, not just a monster or a spell or a trap. So that alone makes this a very powerful utensil for getting the combo piece that you require. It also has a great effect out of the hand and can be special or normal in order to search. We've got Meek. Meek is a level 2 tuner as well as Fearless level 2 tuner. So at the moment you're going to play these two at 3. Meek is just the better one because it can come out as a level 4 after it's destroyed, while Fearless is just permanent level 2. So it's pretty much their functionality. They can get themselves onto the field if you control a monster with 1500 attack and 2100 defense, aka Riumheart and Reichheart. Reichheart is our only Scareclaw monster that you'll pretty much see every time in a Mannadium build. Sometimes you might see a level 3. Just depends on preference, but this is one that you'll see pretty much every time. Special summons itself, searches for arrival, and just a combo extender. Outside of that, the only monster we're really going to talk about is Prisma. Prisma is a 1-card good board, so it's kind of hard to beat options like that in Yu-Gi-Oh! And you can do that. It facilitates this thanks to Vicious Astrolabe mentioning Starfrost on its fusion requirements. So the fact that it can become Visa Starfrost in the field is just crucial to its incorporation in the deck, and we'll go over that combo very shortly. Next, we've got Peaceful Planet Calarium. This is a simple search card for Vsauce or a Mannadium monster. It also functions well as an extender in ways while it's face up on the field and a monster gets destroyed. We also have Mannadium Imaginings. Imagining is actually a draw power card from an archetype that works. A lot of the time these draw power cards are not that great. This one's actually pretty functional. Some play it at 2, maybe 1, but depends on your preference and how you build your deck. Next we've got Abscission. Abscission is kind of a solver card. It does everything you need it to do. It can search out a different monster, can help you special summon from hand, so it really helps you either fix the field that you have or push through a board or a hand trap. Other than that, we've got Mannadium Reframing. Reframing is a counter trap, simply to stop like Dark Ruler No More or something like that. It's not guaranteed that you can get this searched in the middle of your combo, but if you do have enough pieces to start, it's very easy to get into your hand. Outside of that, as I mentioned, the Scareclaw engine is going to contain Primitive Planet Reichphobia. Just helps you search Starfrost or a missing piece. And Scareclaw Arrival helps you get a little bit more monsters on the field for you to get a synchro accomplished or something similar. Of course, Hero Lives for Prisma, Rhoda, because you can go straight into Riumheart off of that. And then we've got Terraforming to help you either search your Scareclaw field spell or the Calarium. So instead of jumping into the extra deck, we'll kind of go over that as we're playing. I also don't have Appaloosa here. You'll definitely see Appaloosa in here, but we'll definitely highlight these cards soon. So let's go into the first 1-card combo. Alright, our first 1-card combo is going to be with either a Hero Lives, or of course having Elemental Hero Prisma in hand to start. So Prisma comes out, we're able to use Vicious Astrolabe to send Visa Starfrost from our deck to the graveyard because Vicious Astrolabe specifically states Visa Starfrost as a requirement for its fusion. So Now this Prisma is treated as Visa Starfrost, which allows us to use Lightheart. So we're going to summon Lightheart from our extra deck by linking it off. And Lightheart's going to activate its effect to add Reichphobia, the field spell. We're then going to activate the field spell to add our Reichheart to hand. And Reichheart is able to special summon itself to an adjacent Scareclaw zone. So we're going to do that. In defense, activate its effect anytime it's summoned to add Scareclaw Arrival. So from this point, we're going to go into Cross Sheep with these two monsters, and we're actually able to make Vicious Astrolaud by banishing out of our graveyard Visa Starfrost and Reichheart. We're going to special summon it to a zone that Cross Sheep points to. We can now special summon a level 4 or lower monster from our graveyard. So we're going to activate that Cross Sheep effect, and we're going to bring out Elemental Hero Prisma again. And for a second time, we will activate its effect. It's not once per turn. We have a second Vicious Astrolaud in our extra deck. Again, it states Visa Starfrost on the card, so we're able to send one from our deck to the grave again. Now, we can bring out our Lightheart because we control Visa Starfrost, aka Elemental Hero Prisma. We are, anyway, going to use Scareclaw Arrival to bring out our level 6 tuner, Visa Starfrost, to make our Barone. From this point, with these material that we've accumulated, we can actually go into a 3 material Appaloosa. So, pretty good board for a 1 card combo. Let's jump into the next one. Alright, our next combo is going to be a 1 card combo with Riumheart. We're going to summon Riumheart anytime it's normal or special summon. You can activate its effect to search any Mannadium card. That being said, when it's by itself, if you search anything besides Obsidian, you're going to get absolutely nowhere, so it's imperative you add Obsidian to your hand. So once that's done, you're going to use Obsidian to destroy Riumheart and search out your peaceful planet Calarium. You're going to activate that, which is going to net you your Visa Starfrost. And obviously we can't summon Starfrost because we have no monsters in the field, but that's where Obsidian really shines. You're able to banish it to special summon Starfrost onto the field. From there, of course, you're going to go into your Lightheart and activate its effect to grab the Reichphobia field spell. Activate it to add to your hand the Reichheart. Again, special summon to a zone adjacent to a Scareclaw monster. Activate its effect to add Scareclaw Arrival. And from here, we're going to go right into Cross Sheep. And then activate Scareclaw Arrival to bring out Visa Starfrost, because we're going to need this Lightheart to come back onto the field. Lightheart can come back onto the field if you control Visa Starfrost, and that's once per duel, not per turn. We're then going to special summon the Astrolaud by banishing the Visos from the field and the Reichheart and grave. We're going to activate Cross Sheep's effect because Astrolaud is special summoned to a zone it points to bring out the Riumheart. And from here, you can either make a 4 material Appaloosa, or maybe for some reason you want to keep the Astrolaud on the field just for an extra body, can't be destroyed by battle. It's up to you what you want to do from there, but 4 material Appaloosa is pretty good off of just Riumheart, and there is one other BenCappp combo I want to show you with Riumheart. Alright, so we're just now making the Cross Sheep just like before. We're going to activate Arrival, just like before. We're going to bring out our Visa Starfrost, and then bring out the Lightheart. So this is where things change. We're actually going to go into Nightmare Phoenix. It's a good option because it's just a good link card in general, but it also is important that it's fire. Cross Sheep is Earth. We're going to make our Astrolaud with the Reichheart and the Visa Starfrost, so that when we activate Cross Sheep's effect, we can bring back Riumheart, which is light. So we've got 4 different attributes, and because of that, we can go into the link 6, Cyburst Ignister. And this is going to bring out a beefy 4K monster who is unaffected by other card effects, period. And once per turn, you can actually destroy a monster on the field as well and make a token. So I definitely think it's worth showcasing this just because depending on the meta, depending on your opponent, this is a pretty formidable situation for them to be in. So all of that off of 1 Riumheart is pretty good. And just to kind of showcase this combo in general, not even just ending in this card, but in general, With the field spell, you have the opportunity to pop a card your opponent controls by having 3 monsters in defense position. During the combo, we used Astrolabe, so Astrolabe comes out, you can pop a card as well. And Nightmare Phoenix, you can pop a spell or trap. And alternatively, you could go into Underworld Goddess to remove a monster from your opponent's field, or pop it with this card. There's just a lot of different ways to whittle down the opponent during this combo that I think is just really, really worth mentioning how good Riumheart is as a 1-card card. Alright, our last 1-card combo is going to be Reichheart, straight from the hand. We're going to normal summon it. Again, normal or special, you will be able to search out Scareclaw Arrival. We're then going to jump into Lightheart, activate its effect to grab the field spell. Going to activate the field spell to add Vsauce Starboy to our hand. And from this point, we can use its effect from the hand to destroy the Lightheart we control, get it onto the field. So, you could Scareclaw Arrival back the Reichheart, go into Barone, and then special summon Vicious Astrolabe. That's an option. The other option would be to bring out the Lightheart now, use Arrival just like we would anyway. And instead of Barone, we could make our Triheart off of these 3. And then you can make Vicious Astrolabe. Alright, so the next combo I want to show you is a 2-card combo with Riumheart and Meek. This is for several reasons. One of them, let's get the tuners involved so you can see what they actually do. Another reason is I'm going to show you why it's very important to have Stardust Dragon in your extra deck paired with the Thx All Synchro Stardust. And lastly, these 2 cards are very interchangeable as far as which one you can summon first. That's because if you control a monster for 1500 attack and 2100 defense, you can special summon Meek to the field. So if I summon Riumheart here, I can special summon Meek. If I control a Mannadium card or a monster, or a monster for 1500 attack, 2100 defense, I can special summon Riumheart to the field. And it will get its search as well, as I mentioned before, if it's special summoned. So the 2 different paths to this end up in the same place. One of them is Nibiru safe, and the other one is just the general more safe play, and that's because say I summon Riumheart and it gets destroyed. Even if I get my Obsidian search here and Riumheart gets destroyed right now, I can't use Obsidian. I can't special summon Meek. My play is done. So the other side of that is if I summon Meek, right? If they go to destroy Meek or banish Meek, I can chain. I can destroy Meek on my own terms. I can get my search and chain block that search. And Meek will come back as a level 4. And we're able to get into our Thx All Stardust. So this route, however, like I said, is not Nibiru safe. So I'm going to run through the combo with the intent to dodge Nibiru. So we're going to start off with Riumheart. You have to start with Riumheart if you're going to attempt to dodge the Nibiru. We're going to add Obsidian here. We're going to special summon Meek, and then use Obsidian on Meek. It's going to destroy Meek and search out our Calarium. And we're going to activate Meek's effect in the graveyard to come back as a level 4. We can go ahead and activate this and add our Visa Starfrost. So right here, if we were to continue any other summon, we are actually going to be able to get hit by Nibiru. We've already summoned 3 times. And the way that the Thx All Synchro Stardust works is right here would be the 4th. And its effect, if our Synchro Stardust was our 5th summon, Nibiru could chain here and then it would really mess us up pretty good. So you want to make sure that Stardust is your 4th summon. And now from this point on, at any point that my opponent maybe uses Nibiru, we chain this effect. It's a quick effect to tribute itself, bring out Stardust Dragon, the normal Stardust Dragon, and synchro summon using cards that we control. And that synchro summon monster is unaffected by our opponent's activated effects. And Nibiru is, of course, an activated effect. That's why we can chain to it. Therefore, we can make like a Barone or a Despatter that's completely immune to Nibiru's effect. So that's why from this point moving forward, we're kind of safe. We have so many options to move out of that Nibiru. And we're going to look to get into Barone as soon as possible so we can continue on. So the drawback to being Nibiru safe, boohoo, is that we don't get to use the second effect of our field spell again. We won't get to, because if we were to use this effect here to destroy Meek, get Vsauce onto the field, Meek has to start a different chain in the graveyard, and then we don't have a tuner on the field for Stardust Dragon to synchro into, so it would just get wiped out completely. So here we're going to actually use Obsidian, and we're going to get this onto the field in that manner instead. We're going to go into our Lightheart. Lightheart will activate, grabbing us our field spell. And again, we're going to get rid of that old field spell, unfortunately not getting to use the other effect on it, but that's okay. We also get to special summon our Reichheart with 3 monsters in defense. So we're going to get that extra draw for no reason. And we are going to go into Cross Sheep with these 2. So again, still leaving these 2 up the whole time to make sure that we have an entirely solid backup plan. We're going to go ahead and summon our first Vicious Astrolabe to a zone that Cross Sheep points to. Make sure to activate Cross Sheep's effect. Don't chain your Astrolabe. Grab ourselves the tuner, and that's because, again, we want to make our Barone. So we're going to go ahead and do that. This way we can negate a potential Nibiru. And we're able to now go into our Despatter. So Despatter can only be made with the Stardust Synchro out of this whole extra deck, mainly because it's our only dragon target. So we're going to go into Despatter, and Despatter is going to enable us to special summon a banished light or dark monster and special it to our side of the field, so it can be our opponent's as well. We're going to make sure to get Visa Starfrost here. It's going to come out. We'll make sure to remember to bring our Lightheart out of the graveyard because we control Visa Starfrost. And at this point, we can use our Arrival to bring back that Reichheart and get into our Chaos Angel. So here's, there's a couple things you can, without using Arrival, go into a 3-card, and I'll just show you. We could go into a 3-card Appaloosa here, right? If we wanted to. Instead of using Arrival, we could save it for next turn. We could also, again, go into our Chaos Angel here. So we wouldn't need to bring back our Lightheart if we didn't want to. And we can also extend further, banishing these 2 to bring out our second Vicious Astrolabe, to then go into a 3-card Appaloosa. So, of course, that wipes out all your resources. You don't have any follow-up play with your Vicious Astrolabes. Once these things are gone, they're gone. But you do have 1, 2, 3 interruptions on Appaloosa. And the thing about Chaos Angel is we made it with a light and a dark. That was intentional. That's why we banished the Riumheart instead of the Reichheart initially. We banished this first. So we can make Chaos Angel with the light Visas and the dark Reichheart. And that makes it so our Synchro monsters are unaffected by monster effects activated by our opponent. And the dark attribute enables us to have our monsters not be destroyed by battle. So now your Appaloosa is going to get its full value for sure. And that's why this card is so massive right now. Despatter also is an interruption in itself. And then Barone, of course, is an Omni-Negate. So that's that. Let's move into the next one. Alright, so naturally, next combo I should show you is Riumheart plus the worst tuner, Fearless. So same thing, if I normal summon Riumheart, add Obsidian to hand, I can special summon my Fearless, activate Obsidian, destroy it, get my planet, activate its effect. It's going to stay level 2. It's not going to be able to make itself level 4, so it's way worse already. Even if I activate my Planetarium here and I want to add Meek to get Meek into the flow of things, I won't be able to special summon Meek because the field spell says that for every tuner in my grave or on my field, light monsters gain 100 attack. So now, this is no longer going to be 1500 attack, 2100 defense. So I won't be able to even special summon Meek onto the field. Realistically, my only option here is to go Starfrost instead. So I'm going to grab Starfrost, And yep, now you'll see that attack bump. So we're very, very restricted here. Say I pivot and I Obsidian here, banish that to special summon my Starfrost, and I go straight into Barone. And I've thought about this. Now I've got the Barone negate, I'm safe from Nibiru. Maybe I get fancy and I pop my Meek to trigger Meek and the field spell. This is an option if I've got other ways to play the game still, because from here on out I can't do anything. So alternatively, you know, again, because this card can search out any Mannadium card, maybe you want to add Imaginings, maybe you've got your Meek, you have a way to search an additional time for the reframing, maybe you've got everything you need, you can search Imaginings, which is, you know, a good option to keep digging through your deck for other cards, maybe hand traps or side cards. You'll draw 2 before you have to put 1 back, so maybe you keep the Fearless, you know, it's still a pretty good option to be able to do that. And then Imaginings does have the option to turn a face-up card into a tuner. So this is another way for you to facilitate maybe getting a level 4 tuner so that you can go into that Excel Dragon without Meek. So just be aware of that. So let's jump into the actual combo. Our undoubtedly fearless combo, no pun intended, because we are not nib safe at all. So we're gonna special summon Fearless, use Obsidian on it to search out our planet Clarium. Fearless's effect in the graveyard to bring 1 out of the deck. Activate Clarium to add Vsauce Starfrost, our Star Frosty boy. We're gonna destroy our Fearless, put our Vsauce underneath a link zone. Activate the Fearless in the grave, as well as the face-up field spell. We're going to throw them over here on the left. Get them out of the way, because we are going to need some zones open for our cross sheep. So we're going to go ahead and make Lightheart here. Activate its effect, get our second field spell. Activate that, we don't need the old one, we did everything we needed with it. Add a Reichheart, remember to keep putting everything in defense, so that you can go ahead and net that free draw right here. So from this point on, we're going to go ahead and make our cross sheep right now. We're actually going to just use Arrival now. And that's because later on in this combo, you're not going to have anything left in the graveyard to actually special summon back. So we'll do this. We'll make our Barone with these 2. Throw them in defense, why not? And we're not going to activate Cross Sheep. Do not activate Cross Sheep, because then you will not be able to special summon anything back with the Astral Out Summon, which we will do right now. So we're going to banish these 2 to a zone this points to. And why we want to special summon the Barone first is because you do get the Synchro Summon buff just for it being in that zone. It would buff their attacks, so just be aware of that. Obviously, if you're putting it in defense, it doesn't really matter, but just be aware of that. So gonna get back, we're gonna special summon back our Reichheart here. We need a non-tuner on the field for sure. So from this point, we are actually gonna go into Stardust Charge off of our first Fearless and the Reichheart. Special summon that, activate its effect, draw a card, so that's another card we just got to draw. Then we will go into our Excel Synchro Dragon, activate its effect to bring out another Fearless. We're just cycling Fearlesses over and over, you know? So then from this point, we can go ahead and activate that, bring out the Stardust, go into our Dispatter, these 2. And the Spatter is going to be able to grab our Vsauce Starfrost out of the graveyard. There's a few reasons why you would want to grab Vsauce over Riumheart. One of them simply being to get our Lightheart back onto the field, which is only simply important just for the extra material for the Appaloosa. So now we've got a 4 material Appaloosa, an Omni Negate, an Interruption, and whatever cards we drew. Obsidian's always there to extend as well, not that it's necessary, and we still have a backup Astrolaud ready to go. So alternatively, you know, you can play something like a rank 8 like Hope Harbinger, and instead of making a 4 material Appaloosa, you can make a 3 material Appaloosa special summon that second Astrolabe and make like a Hope Harbinger to have another spell negate. I feel like this is enough interruptions to justify like just not getting Dark Ruler no more, because then it really didn't matter what you put on the board. Now you have way less backup play, etc., etc. So let's jump in the next one. All right, next 2-card combo is going to be Fearless and Vsauce. Vsauce works really well with the tuners in hand. We'll just do Fearless just because it's obviously not going to be as good as the one with Meek. So we're going to get rid of our Fearless here, summon the Vsauce. Fearless will come out of deck, go into our Lightheart, activate its effect to search out the field spell. Activate that, get our Reichheart. Reichheart will come out and add our Arrival. From here, we're gonna make Cross Sheep with the Tuner and the Link Monster, which is unusual. We usually don't do that. We're then gonna use Arrival to bring out the Starfrost, a little preemptive. Bring out the Lightheart, and we will go into a Barone. We will not activate Cross Sheep's effect, and we'll then go into our Astrolabe here. Activate Cross Sheep's effect this time. Bring out a Fearless. We're much better off using the materials that we brought out to go ahead and make a 4-piece Appaloosa. Alright, and here is the Meek Visa Starfrost. It's not incredibly better, but it is better. And gotta say, every combo is a little bit different. You're always kind of using something else as a link material or something. So get a lot of practice with this deck, and I truly hope the video helps. And if you are having trouble, just come back to the video, take a look, kind of review it again. So we've gone ahead and linked off our Visa Starfrost, got the field spell. We're gonna go ahead and special summon that in defense, activate its effect to get Arrival. So here's where things are a little bit different. We are gonna go into the Stardust Excel right now. I'm gonna put it over here, close enough. And we're special summon that level 2 Meek. From this point, we are actually gonna use the Arrival now. Doesn't matter what you bring back, because we have to use it as the link material for the Cross Sheep. So make the Cross Sheep now. And from here, we're going to make the Astrolabe. Going to use Cross Sheep's effect to bring back another Meek, level 2. And we can go ahead and comfortably jump into our Barone. And then into our Dispatter, which, using the Stardust is necessary, but it's just going to rot in your extra deck if you don't. Unless maybe down the line, maybe I'm wrong, never mind. Maybe you needed another Synchro 8 for some reason, you have that option, so I take that back. But this is where you can either go into Dispatter or your Ice Jade. Ice Jade is really, it's very, it can win you an entire duel depending on the deck you're versing. It's got so much potential. That it can be considered, even maybe over Barone on that first summon. But for now, we definitely want to go to Spatter here. And we're going to bring that out in defense, activate it to bring out our Starfrost. And that will enable us to bring out the good old little Lightheart so that we can get into an Appaloosa here. So we've got an Appaloosa, Dispatter, and Barone. So yeah, not too much more off of that compared to the Fearless, but it does help to have that Dispatter. Alternatively, instead of Appaloosa, we could go into Tryhard instead. These are just things to consider based on the matchup that you're playing. So this 2-card combo is going to be a little bit interesting, because I want to just highlight how good the field spells are, how interchangeable all the cards are, because essentially this can add you Vsauce, this can add you Reichheart or Vsauce, but for this time around we're going to go ahead and add the Vsauce with the Scareclaw field spell. And with this one, we are actually going to go ahead and grab ourselves a Riumheart. That's how good Clearium is as a field spell. And we're able to add Riumheart at our Meek. We don't need Obsidian because we've got our Starfrost in hand already. And typically we would do Obsidian, which searches Clearium. But we have Clearium, we have Starfrost, so we're going to go ahead and add the Starfrost add the Meek straight to the hand. Gonna destroy Meek, special summon that to a link underneath, of course. Meek effect, field spell effect. Throw that here, throw that here, becomes a level 4. Yeah, you're gonna wanna go into Excel here. If you haven't gotten a beard already. And then we're gonna go ahead and go into our Lightheart. We're gonna go into cross sheet with these two. And then jump into our Astrolaud. Activate cross sheet, bring this out. And we can go into our Barone. It's kind of the same combo as before, but this is why we do it, right? Making sure we understand everything. See how different cards get you to different places. Spatter, effect, bring back specifically the Vsauce, and then maybe this time, we go into this guy instead, right? Just as an example. All right, here's one more janky hand that you can clearly see how easily it can be fixed. Before we go into a more appropriate normal hand. So we're gonna normal summon Reichheart here. We've opened up Reichheart and Riumheart. We're gonna add Scareclaw Rival. We're gonna special summon a Lightheart, activate its effect, get the field spell, activate that field spell, and we're gonna grab our Vsauce because we won't be able to get it any other way. We then have to use this to get a Reichheart back out. That way, we can use the Riumheart and special summon it. Get its search. So we're gonna grab Meek because we have no other way to gain access to tuners. Since Meek is a awesome little thing and it can special summon while you control monster 1500 attack, 2100 defense, we get that out for free. I'll use Vsauce to destroy the Meek, special summon it, activate Meek's effect, have it come back as a level 4. You know the deal. We're gonna go into our Excel, Synchro Dragon, activate its effect, get this out again, and then from here we will cross sheep as per always and get the Astrolaud going. Banish these two. Cross sheep effect is gonna grab we're gonna grab the tuner again, Meek. Gonna go into a Barone. As well as a Dispatter. Activate the Spatter's effect, get our Vsauce. Have our little Lightheart come out. Go ahead and allow us to go into Appaloosa or Tryheart. So you see how well this deck just flows back and forth between the Scareclaw and the Mannadium engine. It's actually impressive how well the Scareclaw does with this deck. Let's go into the next one. And again, showcasing how cohesive this is. Summon Reichheart if we open Reichheart Meek. Special summon the Meek, just make sure you get it out of your hand because otherwise you might get stuck somewhere else. Use the Lightheart effect, grab your field spell. The field spell is going to get you the Vsauce. Vsauce is of course going to destroy Meek, allowing it to come back, and we are going to make it a level 4 because we can special summon our Reichheart straight out of the deck. Out of the graveyard. And then as you can see, we are in the same position we were before. We can make our Excel, and also we're making the cross sheep with these two, just like the other time. So combo is exactly the same. Everything works very well together. And that's why I personally, I'm fine with playing double Reichphobia, double Arrival, double Reichheart, which is just here. Yeah, obviously. I think it's fine because these cards all are phenomenal pieces of this deck. So let's go into some full hands, huh? So this is kind of unfortunate because we opened the Prisma and the Hero Lives. If we activate this, we've got access to our field spell. We've got full combo with this. We could activate this right away. We'd want to add Meek. Normal summon. Add Obsidian. Special to Meek. Let Obsidian go. kill it. We would search the counter trap here because we're well off. This would go off. This would go off. Bring them back. I'm not going to go through the whole thing again. We've got the level 4 and the level 4, so we can go into our Excel Dragon, and then we have this to get our Vsauce in rotation as well. So another awesome hand. Yeah, this is another extremely good hand. Again, Rhoda gives us access to the world. We've got another Nibiru safe full combo. And we've got Obsidian, so I'll just quickly do this. We don't have to go through the full thing. Let's normal summon this. We have Obsidian, we have Meek, so we do get to go ahead and add Reframing. Just straight up. You can activate this. We have Vsauce already. Honestly, at this point, an option for you would to be either to grant yourself access to Fearless, or maybe we activated this first instead to grab our Riumheart, to have that follow-up play in case they immediately go to kill our Riumheart on field. So it might have been good for you to add the second Riumheart immediately by activating Planet. Just a thought, because as you can see, this thing's ready to go now. Alright, so that's pretty much it. And by pretty much it, I mean that was a lot. I'm sure there are 100 other combinations for this deck that I can't necessarily go over in one video, but I gave you the stuff that's a little bit less likely to be effective, just so that when you have the stuff that is effective, it makes way more sense to you, and you always have those backup routes as well. Again, looking at the deck, one thing I didn't incorporate in my combos is Hope Harbinger, or different rank 8 like Felgrand or something that you can make off of the Vicious Astrolabe. I do think that if you were seeking to have that within your combos, you probably want to cut one of the two of these. Probably the Coral Dragon. You would probably want to cut Tryheart so that you could put in a third Astrolabe, because you can't really justify using both of them just to overlay. It's such a good card in itself. In the middle of play and grind games and stuff like that, you would want to have one available to you. So that's kind of something that I would recommend, is the third Astrolabe if you're going to play something like that. Outside of that, yeah, the deck's goal is to definitely make Barone. It's to make it safe through the play by using these two. Barone, Despatter, Chaos Angel, or Barone, Appaloosa. That's kind of the goal of the deck. Of course, there's many different ways you can do things. There's like, Beatrice combos and stuff like that. Other things like level 6s and whatever. And just all kinds of stuff. But this is your meat and potatoes, So if you guys have questions, because I'm sure you do, feel free to ask. It helps, answer questions that other people might have. If you have recommendations, if you're like, you did this wrong, you're not going to hurt my feelings. I know how complicated this deck is. I know how many different routes that are available to you. And again, like I said, I haven't had a whole ton of time to be diving in and making a video, so I'm just really happy to be doing this right now. Making this video fortunately took me hours because I'm so kind of out of the loop. So I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to hear any feedback you guys have. I will never take it negatively. So thank you. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.